Welcome, Right Riders. Thank you so much for joining me on today's live stream. If you're catching us on the replay, thanks for tuning in. Sorry we missed you. Let's get some of this YouTube stuffs out of the way. All right. And it looks like Streamlabs is going to give me a hard time, but that's all right. We're going to work around it. Okay. What should I write? What author hasn't asked themselves that question at one point or another? Whether you're wondering, should I write a children's book, fiction, nonfiction, no content, or even low content? In today's live niche research, I'm going to show you how to find a good niche. Now, you're going to want to stick around because not only am I going to show you how to do niche research, but a little later, I'm going to show you an even faster and easier way on how to find good niches. But first, I have a super important question for you. Whether you're watching this live or you're catching us on the replay, the question is it niche or niche? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to see who all's in the house. I know we got started pretty quickly, so people are going to start strolling in. Let's see who all's in the house. We got Christopher in the house. The lady writes, Katrina, 2 in a row. Glad to see you here. Janice Miller, glad to be here. Glad to have you. So, is it niche or niche? How do you say it? I say niche. It just sounds fancier that way. So why not say it a fancier way? Okay, so we're gonna get started. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas on other ways to do niche research besides what I show you here, make sure that you share that as well, because that's, we all learn from each other. Obviously there are more ways, but these are the 2 ways. One's more traditional, and then this other way I found, which is a lot easier and I think more reliable. But quick disclaimer, I'm not going to blur out any of the niches that show up in this video today. So since this is live niche research, while niches that I find in this video may appear to be good niches with a little bit of competition, since everyone is watching the same thing, the chances are that those same niches can quickly become saturated. So I suggest, instead of copying exactly what shows up in today's niche research, use the methodology. I mean, we may find some niches that just jump out and you absolutely want to jump on because it's something that relates to you or something that you can relate to, and that's fine. But just understand that when you actually get to creating it and publishing it, may not be as less competitive as it was today on this live video. Okay, enough of that disclaimer crap. Let's get started. Let's move this stuff around so I can share my screen. Let's see. There we go. We'll move that. Gotta make sure I can see the chat. All right. And we're gonna close this bad boy. Let's go to our screen share. And there is a lovely screen share. And don't worry, I didn't go anywhere. I'm here. Hello. Down here on the bottom. Okay. So right now I'm in Chrome and I'm in incognito mode. And for those people who don't know how to do incognito mode, you just go to the top right hand corner of Chrome, click on that button, and there's a new incognito window right here. You click on it, it opens it up, and then I just went to Amazon.com. Fun fact, I know everybody seems to show in how to do incognito mode on Chrome. You can actually do it in Firefox as well, but and I think they call it a private window instead of incognito mode. The reason why I use Chrome is because I have some Chrome extensions that I use and that aren't right now available for Firefox. Okay, so we're going to go in here and I'm going to click on books. Yes, you can search for in the Kindle store if you're focusing on ebooks. I get more profits and higher royalties from my books, so I tend to use that as my go-to as far as finding the niches. What I'm going to do is going to sound similar to what you do for finding keywords, but there's a slight difference. Now, with this traditional way that I'm going to show you, basically what we're paying attention to is the competition and whether or not they're selling. That's pretty much all you can really find out this way. And so, like I said, we're going to cover children's books, we're going to cover no content, nonfiction, and even fiction. So if you're a fiction writer, don't worry, I got you covered there too. We're going to search on those. So let's start with children's books because that's my jam. And we'll just do kids books about. And I'm not going to hit enter. And I'm going to look at the list that's here. And as you can see, there's dogs, space, moving, and so on. Typically what you would do is you would either write all these down or you would take a screenshot and then later on go in and find the competition for each one. Now, I have a Chrome extension called Keywords Everywhere, and that's what gives me this information right here, which tells me the search volume per month. That shows me the demand, if you will, for it. People are searching for these specific keywords. Again, we're not keyword searching right now. We're trying to find a good, profitable niche. But the way to do that is you find multiple keyword phrases that all pertain to the same topic. So, for example, let's see, we've got dogs and then we've got animals. So maybe we could do a book about, a kid's book about animals. Let's see what the competition is, which I can just guarantee because it's so generic that it's probably going to be super competitive. Here we go, 10,000. So this shows our competition. Now it says over 10,000. So we're just going to use this as a nice round number. 10,000 is how many books are in for this particular keyword. Now to find out for dogs, I would have to type that in and check out that competition as well. But for now, just to kind of make things go a little bit faster, I'm going to show you this example. And we scroll down and I have a Chrome extension called DS Amazon Quick View. Again, these are free extensions. And that's what shows right here, lets me know what the BSR is, or the bestseller rank, without having to click on each one. And if I hover over, it gives me the product description as well. So if you want to know how many pages are in it or anything like that, you can do that. Now, here's what I don't like about the BSR. It's just a snapshot. It just tells you where it ranks, how well it sold at this particular moment in time. It doesn't tell you, like, for the month, for example. So if someone came in there, and this happens quite a bit for my children's books, is I may not sell one for 2 or 3 weeks, and then someone will buy an entire classroom set. So once it goes through, it bumps up my ranking. So it looks like I may sell a lot in a month, when in actuality, it may be less. So keep that in mind when you look at the bestseller rank. But unfortunately, doing it this way, it's really all we have to go by, is the bestseller rank, and then for our competition, it's right here. And again, this is just, it shows you the volume. This is the searches, like I showed you earlier. That's just searches on Amazon. But it gives you the information you need. Now, I'm going to back up, and we're going to stick with the about, and I can go to dogs, and it's a little bit less competitive. It's only 3,000. The searches are 120 searches a month, which isn't a lot, but it's okay. And they have a low BSR, which shows that there's people buying them. Again, we don't really know how many are being bought, but it gives us something to look at. It gives us some information. Another way to do it, if you don't come up with any ideas from here, you just do A and see what pops up here, and then you can search on these, and then delete the A and go to B all the way through Z. If you've watched any of my videos on keyword research, it's the same thing. Because basically you are looking for keyword phrases, but to find a good niche, you're looking for multiple keyword phrases in the same niche. So it lets you know that people are interested in it. So that's kids. And don't worry, once we get to the other way, we'll dive into this a lot deeper. Let's see, what else do we want to do? I've got my little cheat sheet so I didn't forget. Oh, no content book. How could I forget no content books? Okay, let's just do Journal 4, if I can spell. This one I'm sure you've searched 100 times. Journal 4, and it's men, women, boys, girls, kids, teen girls. Anxiety, that's actually 2,900. That's actually really good. Let's see what the competition is on that. That's a whopping 10,000. That's pretty saturated. Let's see. Yeah, they're selling. Again, don't really know how much. Consistently. I guess that's a better way to put it. We don't know how consistently they're selling. We just know right now what their ranks are. Okay. All right. So that's. If you find something else similar to anxiety, maybe social anxiety, that's probably pretty competitive too. Like that's not even showing up. A social anxiety journal. It searched for 40 times a month. That's not really that much. Only has 1,000, so that's good. Let's see what these ranks pop up. 44,000, 146. Okay, so this may be. They're not. Some of these aren't journals though. Well, workbooks. And then this one's 7 million. So hopefully that's the outlier. So social anxiety workbook maybe. But again, these are just snapshots. So now that school's starting, maybe people bought these now and then, a month from now they won't. I don't know. Okay, so that one's that. So let's see. We will try one more. We're going to do, let's do a nonfiction book. This one's going to be loaded, I know it. Nonfiction books for kids, 7 to 9. Let's just do, well, this one's 9 to 12 and then 12 to 14. So let's pick the 9 to 12. 20,000. Okay, so yeah, nonfiction books for this is definitely pretty saturated. Okay, so there are other ways to do niche research besides doing it through the Amazon. I know some people check out Facebook groups and they see what kind of groups are out there, and maybe just to get some ideas, let the brain start to percolate. Other people go to Google Trends and they can see what people are searching for. Now, the problem with the searching for is you really don't know if they're buying, but at least it gives you some ideas, again, to get your mind going. Let's see what other ways you guys came up with, and then we will see what other ways you guys came up with. Okay, wow, you guys all got in here real quick. Glad to see you guys here. Let's look at the chat. Let's move this bad boy over. Okay. Let's see, we got Andy's in the house. Hey, all, glad you're here. Glad you could catch live. Neesh, Christopher. That's the way I say it. So I'm going to say you're right. Neesh for me. All right, Andy. Lady writes, you say it both ways. See, that's the thing is like I'm the kind of mentality where I can argue both ways for just about anything. And that's why my wife says I should have been a lawyer, but I had no desire to do that. Weatherly, glad to have you here. Little people, and if we're voting, it's definitely niche. Okay. Self-pub, Dale's in the house. Glad to see you here, buddy. You'll be lurking. I completely understand. Don't forget to catch Dale's live tonight. So he's on where the Wednesday trio duo. Let's see. Let's see. Kelly Publish is in the house. Glad to see you here. Let's see, you guys talking amongst each other. I love that. Overwhelmed. I understand that. Lady Samsara's in the house. Okay, anybody have any other suggestions on how to do niche research? Well, I'm going to show you a way. Let's see if I missed any other comments real quick. Lady Samsara, just talking back and forth. That's great. Okay, so here's another way. This way I found is faster, and it's more reliable as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and that is, let me pull it up. That is Publisher Rocket, formerly known as KDP Rocket. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, he's going to try to sell me on Publisher Rocket. I'm not. I'm just going to show you a way that I found to use Publisher Rocket for niche research. If you get it, great. If you don't get it, that's completely fine. But again, this is just something that if you do get it later on down the road, you can use it for this purpose. And you may be thinking, Keith, I thought Rocket was used for keyword research and competition and finding keywords for your Amazon ads, and it absolutely is, and categories. But I'm actually going to focus on the keyword research part. And I've done this briefly in another video where I show you how to do it for no content books. But today we're actually, like I said, we're going to focus on the spectrum. We're going to do children's books, no content, nonfiction, and fiction. Now, just like I did with Amazon, I typically will focus on books. You can focus on ebooks, that's fine. You can do both, it doesn't matter. I get higher royalties from the paperbacks, so that's what I tend to search for. Now, the difference would be probably fiction. Since my fiction books, I get a lot of page reads because I do the KDP Select program. In that case, I may focus on ebooks, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Okay, so we're going to start with children's books like we did before, and I want to be consistent with what we did in the Amazon way. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. If I can type kids book about, go get 'em Rocket. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot more than what popped up on that one page on the drop down, because what KDP Rocket does is what I had told you can do, where you go through and then type A and B. It does that for you. And the best part is it's all on one page. So I don't have to take screenshots. I don't have to write things down. It's all right here. So the only thing I'm writing down is niches that I absolutely want to start working in. All right, so let's see. So we got, and a lot of these are just jump out at you, are the basics. So I'm not going to focus on them. Let's see what anxiety has. Now, if you're not familiar with Rocket, with Publisher Rocket, it shows your number of competitors that use this keyword. This is what I love about it, is it shows you the average monthly earnings of the top 20 books in for that particular keyword. You don't get this when you look at the Amazon. All you have to go by is the bestseller rank. That just shows you, again, a snapshot. This shows you the average for the month. This shows you the Amazon searches per month, and my favorite part is the Google searches per month. So it takes the best part of Google Trends plus the Amazon search that we did, and it puts it all together in one system. And then it has competitive score. This competitive score goes from 1 to 100. It's basically what are your chances of ranking for that particular keyword, and you want a low number. The lower the number, the less competitive it is for you. So this one, it's pretty high. I usually go for like 40 or lower. But again, we're not focusing on finding specific keywords right now. We want to find a niche. So I want to find a couple keywords that kind of all lump together. Kids' books about anxiety. Let's see what this one is. Is that the same one I just did? Yeah, same one. Okay. And that's why you may see it more than once, is because the way the searches go is, it may pop up more than one time. All right, let's go, and moving on. About disabilities. This one sounds good. Okay. There's not a lot of searches. There's less than 100 searches a month on Amazon, and no searches for this particular keyword. But there's not a lot of competition, and it's making money. So this is when you kind of think outside the box. And I see the one right below it says diversity. So let's see what that is. Okay, that one has 304 searches. Still not a lot of competition. It's making good money. And it's actually a lower competition score than that one. And the great thing is like diversity, disabilities. I mean, you can write a book about diversity and include people with disabilities, and that would all kind of lump together. Let's see, friendships or friends. That one's very competitive, and it's easy to rank for, but there's hardly any searches for it. Let's see what else we got. I don't want to focus so much on one idea. Okay, all right. But as you can see, I mean, you can go through here and, okay, dyslexia. See what this is. Okay, people that search on it. I mean, look at a lot of average monthly earnings, very little competition. 52, I mean, it's not great, but like I said, we're not looking for a specific keyword phrase right now. But there are searches, and so I would write a book about diversity, including people with dyslexia and disabilities and that kind of thing. And so it's all ties them all in together because there are searches for them, and there's not a lot of competition, and there's monthly income. Now, if you're interested in seeing the books that fall into those, you can just click on competition, easy for me to say, and it will show you the books, the top 10 books that rank in for that particular keyword. And here's one thing that I pay a lot of attention to, and that is the age. This is number of days old. So as you can see, like there's not, I mean, this one's a little over a year old, but other than that, they're fairly old books. So that's one reason why it may be easier for you to rank for them, because the other books are not, they're not as new as what you could come up with. So let's go back to keyword research. And the great thing is I don't have to close this. I can just leave that open and just open a new search. And let's do no content. And we're going to do, let's do journals about. Again, do it for paperback, Go Get 'em Rocket. Journal about, this journal about your life, journal about me, journal about mom. Okay, super competitive, but there's still a good chance that you could rank. Let's see about your life. Okay, let's see what else we've got. We'll close that one. We can do, what about a gratitude journal? If I can spell it right. Gratitude journal. Okay, gratitude journal for women, for kids, for boys, men. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna make that a little smaller list. So gratitude journal for. Okay, coffee lovers, that's pretty niched. Wow, that's a lot of searches. No monthly earnings, so that's interesting. So it makes you wonder, and it's super competitive as far as like being able to get in there. Makes you wonder why people, apparently they're not doing it right, because there's plenty of searches for it. So let's look at the competition. Let's see what's out there. Dot journals, and you can actually see the data right here if you want. Okay, so these look like just line journals, really. Okay, let's go back to keyword research, and let's find things that either, like I said, either multiple ones that bring up the same topic, or something that really jumps out as being very specific. For little kids, maybe. Okay, there's not super amount of searches, but it's a lower competitive score, and there's a little over 1,000 competitors. So I know you might want to try that. Tweens, what is that? Let's see. I mean, I know what tweens are, but okay. 1,900 competitors, a lot of monthly income, not a lot of searches. So, but looks like a good chance of you ranking for it. So perhaps there's another way to say tweens. Let's see, journals for depression. Let's see, tweens are technically children, kids. I mean, and you can, I mean, this is a huge rabbit hole you can go down. I mean, I've spent hours just doing this, but you don't have to. It's just I do it when I'm. Oh, look at it, Gratitude Journal for Tired Women. This one you could definitely rank for. Very little competition. Average monthly earnings are nice, but there's not a lot of searches. So if you can just find another way to word it, you can still get into this niche and make a decent amount of money. And obviously you can rank for this particular keyword phrase, but there's not a lot that are searching for it. But if you find another way to say it that has more searches, it can really work out to be a really strong niche for you. Okay, let's see. All right, so now we're going to do nonfiction. Let's close some of these bad boys down. Tweens. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Let's see, we'll just do nonfiction book for. Okay, well, it's blowing up a lot of kids, so that right there would tell me nonfiction books for kids are pretty popular. Let's see, for kindergarten. Wow, I'm actually surprised that many people. So 1,400 searches on Amazon for nonfiction book for kindergarten. And again, I didn't put the dash in here, so you can search it that way. Some people don't put a space or anything, so they just put nonfiction as one word. Again, we're not looking for keyword right now. We're just looking for niches. Let's see, for kindergarten, for teens. I'm sure that's going to be competitive, yeah. So, I mean, there's quite a bit of competition for the nonfiction book for kindergarten. Decent amount of money. I mean, for me to have a book that brings in $1,527 a month on average, I'm sure there's plenty of people that would like that. Let's see, Amazon searches. Like I said, it's 1,400. It's not super great, but it's okay. Let's see what first grader. These are so specific. Second grader, or third grader, sixth grader. See how competitive these other groups are. Kindergarten looks like the way to go if you're going to do nonfiction for kids. Let's see what's teens already did. Okay. Let's see. What about instead of for nonfiction book about? Okay. So we got the books about animals, rainbows, money, bears. Okay. So we've got animals, which I'm sure is going to be competitive. Actually, there's a lot here. Doesn't have a lot of searches, though. Let's see, bears. Okay. Bears is less competitive. Has a few less searches, but could work with that. Owls. Not a lot of searches, but not a lot of competition either. Obviously, dogs is going to be packed, I'm sure. Wow, it's really easy to rank for this, and there's there's less Amazon searches, but they're Google searches. Still pretty competitive though. So what I would say is, if you wanted to do a non-fiction book about animals, and then just make sure that they're about, you include horses and dogs and that kind of stuff, that you can, especially if you want to combine niches and you want to do that for kindergartners, you can really start to see that niche really come together. And, the search volumes are there. The competition is fairly low. And especially if you do a keyword like, nonfiction books about animals for kids or for kindergartners, your competition will be a lot lower. Okay, so that's nonfiction. So what about fiction? Because I don't want you guys to feel left out. So fiction, start off with just generic fiction books about. And we can do ebooks, we can do paperbacks. Let's just do paperback again for now. about twins, teachers, fiction books about animals for kids. Pretty much what I just said about nonfiction. Okay. It's kind of going to be hard to rank for it. Now, if you see this NaN, that's just programmer terms. It means not a number. And basically, I reached out to Publisher Rocket and confirmed what I thought, which is it basically means that it wasn't able, because it's drawing it so fast, sometimes it can't connect to the server as quickly as we would like it to for this. But don't fret, you still can find out how much it makes, because you just go to competition, and the competition monthly sales and daily sales are still populated. So it's not like, oh, it says, not a number, I'm out of luck. You're not. So keep that in mind. Okay, fiction books about postpartum depression. Yeah, I didn't expect that would have a lot of searches. Let's see. What about just regular depression? Okay, so not a lot of searches for it, but it'd be easy to actually rank for it, though. All right, let's see if I can find something that work really well. Mental illness. Again, there's not a lot of competition really. 1,200 is not super competitive, especially in comparison to the average monthly earnings, but there's hardly any searches for it. So again, another way to say it, there's clearly a desire for it, even though not for this particular search, because they're getting this much sales. So we know that is a niche that people are interested in. It's just a matter of how to word it for your keywords. But again, we can do keyword research later. Let's see, fiction books. Fiction books about adoption. Okay, another one, not super competitive. Yeah, $500 on average a month. I'm sure that many people will be happy with that. About OCD. Not very competitive at all. Be pretty easy to rank for it. $2,200 on average a month. Again, not a lot of searches, but finding different ways to say it. There was one that I saw the other day, and I wonder if it's still competitive. Shoot, I'll just look it up. And it was fiction books about anxiety. And I saw this, maybe I searched on ebook, but we'll try paperback first. Okay, so you got a lot of search for it, not a super amount of competition, nice monthly averages, but then see anxiety disorders, plugging away. And this lag is probably because I'm streaming this. There we go. We'll just do this one. About anxiety and depression. 30 Google searches a month. $4,000 on average. 580 competitors. So these are all pretty much the same niche, but different ways to say it for your keywords. But this is a niche that is not super competitive when you compare it to the searches, and when you look at the average monthly income. I would definitely, if it fit into one of the books I was writing right now, I would write a fiction book that had some kind of anxiety disorders in it. Obviously it doesn't have to be the main topic, but it needs to. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it, especially with something like anxiety and depression, but making it relevant to your book. And that's a niche that there's people searching for it. So why not fill that niche? Let's see, we've got one more idea. Let's see, what about fantasy books? That's the other one that I wanted to look into, because I know there are a lot of fantasy authors out there, and we're just going to do fantasy book 4. And let's do it in ebook because, like I said, if you're in the KDP Select program, then page reads or might be how you're getting the net of your income for that particular type of book. So let's see, fantasy book for teens. Okay, obviously that's a lot. Let's try kids. Okay, so fantasy book for kids. The number of competitors is high, but there's still, 44 is a good competitive score. So there's still a good chance that you can rank for that. Let's see what the competition is. See, this is why the competition score is so low. It's because these books are older. This one, I think this is the only one that I saw that's been within this year. That's in the top 10 or 20, however many show up. So, yeah, fantasy books for, fantasy books for kids. And of course, you can drill it down, and I did book. Let's see if books is different. Oh yeah, see, I put the S on the end and it brings up a lot more. Okay, so let's see. We don't want to use free or Kindle. Fantasy books for teens. This is specific, 10 to 12-year-olds, which I think technically would be the whole tweens that we were looking at earlier. Just looking at these different things shows that books for tweens is hot right now, I guess. People are searching for them, and the competitive scores are fairly low. So if you decide that you want to write a book for a tween, then that might, that could be a good niche for you. And again, fantasy, it looks like they're interested in that as well. Let's see, for girls. Wow. Okay, fantasy books for girls. So when you look at the number of competitors, yes, it's a lot. But look at how many searches, 6,600, and look at the competitive score. The chances of you ranking for this particular keyword is going to be really, really good. And yes, I know the average monthly earnings aren't a lot, but keep in mind this is just the ebook version, not the paperback as well. So keep that in mind. This is a niche that, I would definitely look into that. But again, don't always jump at all the ones I've pointed out, because if everybody does it, then it's not going to be profitable anymore, or it's going to get saturated. Let's see, for preschoolers. Okay, here we go. A fantasy book for preschoolers. Only 102 competitors, 343 Amazon searches, which isn't a lot. I try to look at searches that are like 1,000, but still, it's over 100, and a competitive score of only 25, which means you got a really good shot of ranking for it, and average of $1,500 a month. Again, this is for the ebook, so you can look up here and it says ebook, and then the black B, the ones that say just the B, that's for the paperback. So the ebook on average for the top books in this particular keyword is bringing in $1,500. Let's see what the competitors are. Okay, and obviously you're not going to compete. I don't see it here, but like if you've got like Dr. Seuss, you're not going to compete with Dr. Seuss, and that's fine. But even Dr. Seuss, the ebook is bringing in $166. It's an older book. But let's see, I'm looking at the ages, if you're wondering what I'm looking at. This book is bringing in bank. $20,000 on monthly average. I'll take that all day long. Let's see. But other than that, the newest one is over a year old. So absolutely, this is something, I'm going to actually write this one down. So I wasn't expecting that. Let's see. Scroll down. I will say, when you jump from competitive and you jump back over here, it does bring you back to the top. Good fantasy books for tweens. Obviously, you don't want to put good in your keywords, but we're looking again at competition. 3,400 searches, only 93 books using this particular keyword, and $4,200 in ebook sales on average. So yeah, there's another one for you. Like I said, it looks like tweens are pretty hot right now. Pretty hot niche. So or age group, I should say. Modern fantasy books for kindergarten. There's only 14. I mean, it brings in $249 on average. Really easy to rank for it, but there's not a lot of search. But it's something to look into. So I think those are the ones I wanted to look at. Let's see. I know. Okay, so all right. So I've seen tweens so many times. I'm gonna do fantasy. No, let's not do fantasy. Let's just do books for tweens. I mean, we've seen tweens show up so many times. And let's see. Books for tweens fiction. That one didn't pull up. Let's see, hold on. Multitasking here. It's the joys of working from doing part-time. Let's see. No, these are teens. I didn't say teens, I said tweens. Books for tween girls. Okay, 1,800 searches. Let's see. Okay, so as you can see, there's horror books for tweens. Wow. Okay. This is the paperback. Pretty easy to rank for it. Not a super amount of search, but horror. Really, I wouldn't have imagined that for that age group, but that's fine. Halloween. I really don't do. I try not to do books that are geared around holidays, just because I don't like to see the ebb and flows of my sales. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of, like I said, horror, and then I saw Halloween. So let's do, and it might have actually been up there and I just missed it. Let's do scary books for tweens. Let's see. I'm going to try one more. Let's do. Well, that says teen. I don't know why I keep changing it to teen, but we'll see. Okay. All right, 720 Google searches. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so let's check out the competition. There we go. Come on. Okay, and the competition, yeah, because it said not a number, it said NAN, so I want to look at the monthly sales. Obviously, some are making more than others, but I mean, still quite a bit. And let's see the ages. That one's 2 years old. It looks like, okay, this one looks like the newest one, and it's a little over a year old, and it's still bringing in over $600. So, and again, if we go back to what the competitive score was, it was still, wrong one. Let's see, right there, mystery books. Come on. Still, 45 is still a reasonable number for doing competitions, for chances to rank. So that's something to look into, and especially if you scary and mystery and all those different things all point to those different keywords all point to the same niche. So that's what we got on that. Let's flip this bad boy back over. Okay, so that's what I have on using Publisher Rocket as well as using Amazon for finding your niches. Now, I wanted to know, let me look and see if anybody came up with any other niches, any ideas for niches that I hadn't come up with. Anybody have any questions? throw that in the comments as well. Yeah, gruesome twosome. Thanks. I was on the spot and I couldn't think of it. Yes, Dale, gruesome twosome. He's tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. I'm almost positive, but days happen. Let's see, overwhelmed but good. So, for some reason, I can't see. Somebody let me know how many people we got in the house right now. Let's see, gruesome twosome. Google Trends might be a niche research thing. Yeah, absolutely. That's something that, like I said, I've used it from time to time. When I use Publisher Rocket, it includes, the Google searches as well, and it shows me in conjunction with the sales. So but yeah, if you want ideas right off the bat, absolutely. And if you don't have Publisher Rocket, I almost said the other one, KDP Rocket. If you don't have Publisher Rocket, and if you're wondering why they say Publisher Rocket, not KDP Rocket, it's because Dave Chesson and his team, they're trying to go beyond Amazon. Obviously they pull in Google, but they also, obviously they're not doing just ebooks anymore. They're doing the paperback, and the team is looking into trying to also go to other platforms and try to give you as much information as possible. Right now, it's still only $97. If you'd like to check it out, you can use my link, kwheelerbooks.com/rocket. Let's see what questions we have. I think I just missed everything where they said internet dropped. Sorry, buddy. I will. I don't cut or anything out of this, so you can always catch it on the replay. Publisher Rocket is one tool I do not go without. Yes, absolutely, Dale. I'm not getting paid to say that on this channel. I just love it that much. Yeah, absolutely. And Dave Chesson, I mean, he is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever had the opportunity to talk to and work with. He's a military vet, and he's just a great guy. And and the support that they have is bar none. Diana, thanks for the topics. Absolutely. And if you guys, I know we're kind of rushed today. If you're interested in me doing another video where I show some more niche research live, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to put that on my to-do list. Obviously, it's not something I would do every day, but yeah, and I won't do the Amazon way. I'll just do the Publisher Rocket way, or someone tells me another way that is better or just as good and gives as much information to help you make the best educated decision you can on a niche. You really can't be 100% confident in any niche that you go into unless it's one that you've already proven yourself. But you saw the numbers and you saw all the information that's there. And again, that's using Publisher Rocket in a way it wasn't meant to be used. It's meant for keyword research and stuff like that. But if you see multiple keyword phrases that are in the same niche and they're being searched and there's not a lot of competition and there's money being made, that tells you that's a niche. So, but if you find something else, I'll be more than happy to look into that, and maybe I'll do some live niche research on that. So, Kevin, I discovered your new hottest niche or hottest keyword. Good. I'm glad I could help. Hopefully, it'll still be hot by the time you go to publish. I'm working through today. Normally, I forget to catch. Yeah, didn't today. I'm glad you're here, Dale. I'll completely understand when if you can't catch my videos, especially when it's the same day as yours. So I know you're working on yours as well. Let's see. Oh, that just jumped. Okay. Let's see. Got the tweens keyword from Rocket 2. All right. I keep missing the emails. Yeah, that's weird, Kevin, because I know you're on my email list for when I send out alerts, but I'll double check and make sure that it launched out. I haven't had any issues lately with MailChimp, but who knows? I was working on some t-shirt designs. I'll probably get back to them and listen here in a few. Absolutely. I've got no problem with lurkers. I love my lurkers. Thanks, Andy. Great info. We'll try to catch Dale live at 6. Yes, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be there. I hope you're there, Dale. Otherwise, it'll be an awful quiet. 20 in the house. All right, that's great. Let's see. This is your affiliate link in the description. Yes. If it's the K Wheeler Books untitled.com/rocket. Yes, that is an affiliate link, which means that I do get a little bit back for bragging about it. But the truth is you saw it. It's not just me, trying to shill out something. You saw the quality of it and all the information that's in there. So, and I know a lot of people can't afford the $97, and I completely understand that. I will say, and I don't know why I've never mentioned this before, but Dave Chesson does give a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you do get Rocket and you're not happy with it in 30 days, just let them know and they'll refund your money. I don't know why I've never mentioned that before, but now I have. I want to make sure you get... Okay, I appreciate that, Weatherly. Dave is awesome. Yes, he is, Kevin. He plays the same online game that I do. You'll have to let me know what online game that is. I'll be interested. Diana got here late. Is this tool appropriate for no or low content books as well? Absolutely. You want to catch this on the replay. I actually did do a search for journals. Did search for gratitude journals. I also have a video that I did probably about a month or so back where I do niche research specifically using Publisher Rocket for no content books. Let's see. All right, thanks Dale for dropping that link. I appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see. Diane and Kevin saying hi to each other. Great. Kelly, Publisher Rocket is a valuable tool as well if you want to run Amazon ads. Absolutely. I use it for my Amazon ads as well. I should have said that this is not obviously a complete tutorial on Publisher Rocket. If you'd like me to do a tutorial on it, I will. I've got no problem with it. I love every aspect of it. I use it for I will say real quick about the Amazon ads keywords. It's going to spit out keywords, and just trust it. Don't think that this has nothing to do with my book. Some of the best, most profitable keywords for my Amazon ads that are getting me the most sales are words and phrases that they still relate to my book, but I never would have picked. As a matter of fact, a couple times I actually deleted them, and then finally, after watching one of Dale's videos, I decided, I'm going to give it a shot, and I put them in there, and sure enough, it was a low cost per click because it's not highly used, and yeah, those are probably some of my most profitable ones. So yeah, the keyword research for the ads is amazing. Okay, thanks. I'll definitely pick it up. I'm just now learning all this KDP stuff. Yeah, and there's always a lot to learn. The moment I stop learning things will probably be when I decide to step away from it, because I always enjoy learning something new, and I learn from you guys just as much as I learn, or so much as you learn from me. Let's see, Kevin. When I found the tweens keyword, I was researching keywords for low content. Just make sure you choose books and not ebooks. Great point, Kevin. If you're using it for journals, or if you're using it for puzzle books, that's another thing that you can use it for. If you're using it for something that cannot be in ebook format, coloring books, that kind of thing, make sure that you select the book which represents the paperback. It does default to the ebook, and just hit the drop down and select books if you're doing it in something that is not available in Kindle ebook format. Again, like those I said, cookbooks, that kind of stuff. Good point, Kevin. War Robots on iOS. I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Yes, the cream always rises to the top. It's a great way to put that, Diana. I really appreciate you guys all being here. Does anybody have any questions? If not, I'm going to wrap things up. I've got a doctor's appointment to head to. I've got some work to on my day job to look into as well. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. If you have any ideas for future videos. Also, if you already have a book that's published and you want to find a way to maybe sell more copies by getting that book description really dialed in, then I'm going to drop a link in description where I show you how to actually use HTML code to make your description really pop. So make sure you check that out as well. So until next time, I'm Keith Wheeler, and remember to write right.